Welcome, our viewers and listeners across our globe. We want to thank you so much for joining us here. Let me just handle this here that coming in here. We want to thank you so much for joining us. I'm Alfonso Zin. So right here on the Diaspora Informative News Outlet. If this is the first time joining us, we say you are wholeheartedly welcome. You are on the roof this evenings of the Liberia Public Radio Lpr-Tv. We say welcome to Yaya Talita Sharif under the Palava House. And that's Mr. Prince Sharif is here this evening. Mr. Sharif, good to have you here. Bridget and Mustafa Gosso, good to have you here. We say good evening to welcome. I'm Alfonso Zian. So, Lee Ango. And today is Friday, and the analysts going to be here. And of course, you're also going to have access to the call-in number to speak your mind, to tell us what you make of the country or what is happening. Depending on who you talk to, the conversation type varies. They have their own description. We don't tell people what to say. We allow them to speak their own mind. But what we do call for is we call for civility in the process of having these national conversations for the good of our country. That is very vital, and we must emphasize on that. We can agree and disagree, but we also want to make sure that we respect one another in the process, in the interim, and that is why LP are here. But we have some folks that are here who are so much politically driven, and so they tend to sanction the voices of ordinary Liberians who disagree with their political philosophy or ideology, if you will, to call. So they are in the habit of, if you don't speak the language, their political language, meaning they don't listen to you. They cut you off. And this group is led by the liberal, to the most liberal on this network, his ally, the Boasians. And so there are very few independent here. We see it objectively. We speak it, we talk it as it should be, not necessarily what you want to hear, but this is, we know how polarized the politics of Liberia is today. So today when you say good suit their political taste, you are the Messiah, you are the Redeemer. And tomorrow, if it goes the way other and you decide to speak your mind, your opinion, then you are a little bit as a pay agent or someone who proxy or speaking for some, how do you call them, political leaders? Yeah, that's how it looks like. But we'll try to square it out here. The nomenclature, the structure of the network is safe. It's inclusive. So whether you are ANC, you are seditions, you are UPS, or whatever, some of the unknown party yet to come, and they will come from what we see from all indications. The 2029 is the open feed, being in this business and listening to some of the messages, the tone, to the language, and the sound bites raging out. It is glaring that the field is wide open and can. There will be so many surprises, trust me or not. And so we accommodate these voices, all of these voices from different political spheres. We accommodate them. We have this sort of conversation here because these conversations are meant to make our country healthy, to make our country democracy, to be something that will come in the spotlight. That all, no one should be left behind. No one has dominion over the country. We were all born there. And so being a political leader does not even give you the right to have your way or impose your way. But what we call for is civility in these national conversations. And this is why the Civil Liberty Roundtable Conference will sit and agree and disagree and see what is applicable for the use for the betterment of our country. But to have one to pose himself as a Goliath and his will must be done, without that, then there must be no Republic of Liberia. It is fantasy, it is daydreaming, and that cannot happen. We have seen the beauties of the social media, what he has brought to the political landscape, not just in Liberia, but across the whole globe, in terms of how information processing now is so fast and so quick. You don't need to really find journalists. Anybody can stay on the other side, put their gadgets on, and just do that recording and shoot it. It creates a content, it makes a news, and people fly into it and people buy into it. So it's not like in the 80s. I remember U.S. Camper used to this group called React. They used to drop leaflets, pamphlets, Atmeha, and all of those places. It was more difficult because in the process, when you want to drop those leaflets, you got to be watching to see, because you do not want to be paycar. You don't want to be caught in the interim, because they're going to come after you. But social media, by the time you look, somebody, whether the light boom Mubo or Mubo, how they call the phone, Cellcom or Lone Star, whatever it is, if it's in Liberia, they record you and they put it out there. And it becomes a talking point. This is also healthy. So the days of yesterdays are all gone, and so we are in the modern era where digital media or the whole world now has transitioned and will continue to transition. And this is what these conversations are held at. We want to thank you so much. If this is the first time, we say good to have you here. We don't talk it your way. We say it as it should be. It doesn't mean what we say is something we are liable to be fact-checked. As we critique people, you also have the right to critique us. You can disagree with us. You can follow through with what we say. But all we call for is civility. That is what lacking in our political discourse. People label people as this person, that person. It creates a sort of wound or not being able to have this sort of healthy conversation. And the politician has been very successful to navigate, to create these sort of, and their supporters, their talking heads, their surrogates, even in the media world, they are all doing that now. And it's so interesting that it looks like we are going to take a side eventually in order to be accommodated, because if you are not part of some sort of drumbeat, it makes it difficult. And that's why some of them, they don't come here. Now we don't extend invitation to them, but their own perception. And unfortunately, we do not have control over people's perception, what they think, what they feel about us. Oh, one day he is seditions, he are UPAs, he are ANC persons. That is, when you have this conversation, and if it doesn't suit the guys they call the political leaders, it means you're someone else. You are not a Liberian. You should not be part of the political discourse, which is categorically wrong, unacceptable. So they choose to go where they want to go. To be fair, if you remember the days of Lpr-Tv, Sherman Brown, yes or no, to ask those sort of oatmeal questions, instead of having these open-ended questions where they will provide all answers, they don't. So they have their network, they have their places, they have their demographic where to go to and speak their language, their tone, and they are cheer up. So we asked them to come here. They we agree, but want to talk to their supporters. Oh, don't go there. And some of them sound so ridiculous that they want the specific structure of questions to be asked. Are you kidding me? That's not going to happen. But it is fair to give you an outline of the conversations and you can take the rest. This is LPR. Welcome to the show. I'm Alfonso Zayenso of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. The analysts will be here and we will scramble over tonight's conversation. I will be right back.
Do you want to share your events with the world? Why not contact us? We are Liberia Public Radio, LPR. We are the specialists in advertisements, commercials, radio and TV services. We have the professionals that can help you sell your products and provide live coverage of all events such as weddings, conventions, graduations, reunions, anniversaries, sports, birthdays, baby showers, religious activities, funerals, and many more. Take your phone right now and call any of the following numbers: 682-433-8802, 267-648-6089, 484-786-3337, or 916-533-2048. Our customer service representatives are waiting to take your calls and give you the needed assistance. It is LPR, the home of excellent media services, and your friends in business. Hello, listeners.
Hello, listeners.
This is Mazola,
the lover boy.
I'd like to invite you to this exciting program. It is called Dancing for Jesus. It is intended to play beautiful inspirational music to help you turn your life to God. Join me on every Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is our way of showing appreciation to God for the good things He has done for us and continue to do. Don't miss this opportunity. Join Mazola Gizi on every Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the program Dancing for Jesus. Please be there because I will be here to rock it up for you.
Okay, we say good Friday, happy Friday, wherever you are. We say good morning, we say good evening, good afternoon, depending on your location. We say welcome. You are under the roof of the Liberia Public Radios and Lpr-Tv. And of course, I am your lead anchor, presenter, Alfonso Zayenso, right here from the East Coast, from the ocean state of Rhode Island, hovering here this evening. Thank you so much for being here. Very shortly, the analysts going to be in here. And even if they are not here, that is okay, because when I come here, all about Tabata ends to be praise sinkings of their leaders. So whether they are here, they are not, you are the important figure in this whole thing. And so we're going to activate this phone line here as much as possible to speak some of the things that are happening, what you think is going on in your country. There's a consequential election time for Nima County. We could be a turning point where we see a new landscape, political landscape in Nima. Now, Jeremiah Cohn, the vice president of the Republic of Liberia, of course, has inserted himself into the political conversation. Now, so there are two things involved here. We validate, we build his political momentum in terms of the guy who led the conspiracy to remove the speaker, the sitting speaker of the Republic of Liberia. And this is where some of us are problem, and we are very much vehement and forceful on that, because the due process, in our view, in our own thinking, waiting how this grand decision going to come from the higher court of the land. But this guy talking from the hotel and just raise his left hand alone justify that something is just not right. That's not a process. You and I know in the West here, we saw the removal of Speaker McCarthy, the due process was given, there was arguments on the floor, they were able to, other people were able to speak. a vote was taken to remove the speaker. That did not happen. Which subsequently, for the first time in the history of our country, not even to the bloody civil war that took so many toward lives and destruction of property, the first branch of government was never inflamed. And we yet to know who are responsible, how we got to this point, how did such a thing happen? Who is in charge? The speaker. The virtue of our constitution, the number 3 person in the republic. Don't get me wrong. The 70 some more folks that are there, they have the right, but there's a process. Was that process completely exhausted? Some of us say no, you have the right to say yes, to give your opinions. It's your country, it's our country. So we all have a say into it. But some of us believe in the Constitution, a due process. It's just like someone come to you and say, oh, Alfonso, so you are a killer. Okay, so you have to prove it's not a circumstantial. It has to be proven before a court of competent jurisdiction. Now, what makes me a killer? You don't have to plead guilty of whatever alleged crime, but not just saying it. And I just been convicted without giving a day in court. And I think that's what the speaker has been arguing for. I don't think he's insisting that anyhow, anyway, he must be speaker. But he did not get, he wasn't given the due process. And if you listen to members of the Honorable Supreme Bench, their argument, and that's where this Lighting War came in. And all these guys, the 11 speakers, going all over trying to solidify his political grave to be something. Look, these things is not something you don't have to beg people for recognition. You don't. And this is where some of us disappointment comes from with the executive, because from all indicators, the withdrawings of security details, completely disabling the sitting speaker without even allowing the process to play out in the court, that is concerning. So there's something is not right, something someone circumvents or someone undercut the laws of the land. And that's not what we want to have in the sovereign nations. If we want to have a democracy where all will be participated, their voices, whether we agree or disagree, their voices will be heard. But everybody have their own interpretation, and that's okay. That's part of the process. We have to go through the process. Now, the folks that are supposed to be the wisdom, the wise people, Capitol Hill, now the Supreme Court was babysitting them now, to telling them what to do. And what they do not understand, they have their function. Making the laws does not suggest that you can interpret the law. So there is another branch of government that interprets, that gave a legal interpretation, constitutional interpretations of these laws. Because these people made these laws just to suit their political taste and to enrich themselves. But the Supreme Court is not a police officer. They're not just going to be looking, going all around that somebody committed this. A case has to be taken to them, then they go through the process. And I'm glad that is what is happening right now. Let me put a number out here, and you can have your say. But something caught my attention this evening. Very, very unusual as a communicator. I've never seen this yet before. It's happening, and we're going to see more of it happening. The appearance of now Chief of Staff of the former President, Lane Eugene Nabe. Listening to him briefly, the timing, and see what is happening, there is a clear indication now that there's a disconnect of Mr. Seton Waterspoons, who is the former CEO of Spoon Network, who is one of the chief architects in bringing Joseph Boyka of the Unity Party government in place to give a prime time to now the former ruling establishment, which is now one of the major opposition bloc, to give them this sort of prime time interview is significant. You may not understand the long-term implications and all that is playing out because some of you put yourself in a very concealed box, and so you look at one side of the world and you make a judgment. But I'm taking a holistic approach into this. It is huge. It is significant. That's Stanton. It is from all indication from what I see and what I follow, the disconnect with Stanton Waterspoons and that of the Unity Party people, folks, because people getting upset. There were certain things that did not happen. And George, we know, and other people wanted to happen on a white card, and that did not happen. But bringing Lane Eugene Number, who is the chief of staff now to the former president, and we are hearing the former vice president going to be appearing. What is that political implications? Is it a coincidence? Don't waste your time. Something unusual is happening. When things fall apart, the Falcons can no longer hear the Falconers. Let me bring in Terry Collins, who's a senior analyst of the Liberia Public Radio, and also a strong supporter of Cuban President Jose Numa Rescue. Terry Collins, good evening. Welcome.
Good evening, Mr. So, and hi to your panel, your panelists, your panel guests.
Okay.
Those who follow LPR.
Yeah, we have some great people. This is Mr. Zort, Adolphus, good to have you here. Lucas, good to have you here. I hope I'm calling your name. Tayaya Talita Sherry. So, YTS. Okay. And Mr. Joseph F. Tamliat, good to have you. Good evening. So, welcome. You are on the roof of LPR. And here come my man, Don, is in the house. So, Terry is, as usual, we here every Friday. And I know your guys, the liberal, your friends, they are waiting to see how this conversation. Yeah, go ahead. They're waiting to see how the conversation goes, and then they will surface to bring their rescue boats and come to aid. So good. I like your form this Friday, man. What's up? Coming from training or?
Yeah, what is?
You guys just growing, man. Oh, well, you're just growing overnight. Mr. Wisa is in the house. Paul, good evening. Welcome, buddy.
Mr. So, don't do that. You know, you get more swag than us. So don't be saying.
Oh, no, in our country, you who close with the authority that your park and borrow, they call us the enemy of the state. They call us nations. They call us nations.
That your former guy used to talk that other one, but now they're not JB. JB.
Okay, good evening. Welcome.
Yeah, man. Mr. So, you're talking something about Eugene Nangwe and Stanton Waterspoon, and it's becoming clear that Stanton Waterspoon is going the way of CDC, and he's not going to stop. And I think it's because of political reason, interest, and all that. But the truth of the matter is, do he really want CDC back? I doubt it. He's just using them, and they themselves using him. So it's a doggy word. It's a doggy word.
I don't understand that if you want. Why wouldn't I want somebody and give them such a huge prime time to be so extensive, elaborate, more or less trying to reconstruct the crime scene? I'm not saying CDC has committed crime, but to give them such. So Stanton now has positioned himself like a Michael Cohen. Do you remember the story of Michael Cohen, the fixer of Donald Trump? So that's what he's doing. So whatever happened with the CDC is okay. He brought the old man. So the old man came and said, and what happened? I said that here before. The Moja boys,
that's the thing. He did not bring the old man. He facilitated the process last minute to time, but the old man was brought by Henry Costa. He did not bring the old man. You see, and this is the legacy that Stanton is trying to create. He's trying now to build that legacy that Costa built, to take CDC now from nothing to something, so that he can be in the political limelight of the Liberian political history. You know,
so then you were,
so he creating something and until it work. He's not counted among the young political guys that have the potential to change the paradigm of the Liberian psyche in a direction that they want it to go. Senator Waterspoon last minute of time, when the Liberian people had already made up their mind to carry JMB, that when he came in.
I have a different view to your argument, and you are quite, you have your own opinion. And you will agree with me that said the river is not to the swift, but he who endures to the end.
I agree with that.
Here,
Doctor, so you put in Bible now. You see, you know, I get it. You put in the Bible.
And you are a pastor. We're learning from you. You are a political pastor on this network.
But so you are a political journalist. I'm telling
you,
no, political journalist.
It's not a matter of it. But let's be honest here.
That line you just pulled there was not a small line.
I don't agree with Waterspoon on so many things, but there is no way that you can ignore the fact that Stanton Waterspoon was a serious factor who did a lot to bring to Joseph Boyka. Joseph Boyka and the UTP, his network, his institution was heavily used. They raised money, they did everything. There was a lot of subliminal messages, innuendos, falsehood, lies, and everything were put into that. And CDC they were unable to counter that, because that's the power of the media. Because when you control the airwaves, what that does, the opponent, it puts you on the fence. There was a distractions on the part of CDC, because where we're coming out of literally the Fox News of Liberia, that they went against the government heavily for whatever reason that did not take part. Henry Costa, yes, but he could have had that capacity, the manner in which his Stanton's and the Spoon Network pushed the agenda of Joseph Boyka. You know that.
But he did finish the job, but he brought the job to the almost finish line. Take, for example, look at the numbers that show up in the first campaign of the Unity Party. That campaign, Henry Costa was now supporting them at the time. And what his name? Stanton Waterspoon had not gone in that deep yet. Look at that particular crowd Unity Party put outside that took the entire international media. That was when the people knew that
what was the process? Which process Unity Party put out? What are you talking here?
The what?
So through who engineered that these people got outside? How you think that message was put out there?
Well, the message was they were going to that was when Stanton was supposed to having his crisis. That when his crisis was beginning, he was free, he was talking now, and his media was being used or widely, but he was not fully, because the panelists were still diverse. They had CDC pundits still attending the show. They had upper ANC. They had other people like, what his name from the other guy, Terwon Gonglo. So the platform was not 100% directing the narrative of Unity Party until last minute of time. The Unity Party started forcefully engaging him and talking to him, and that how can they start raising funds. He himself was shocked when he opened that fundraising program and he saw the kind of pooling that it draw attention to in the diaspora. He had no option now but to flow. And people now started gravitating to him because the people saw that he was vulnerable. So they started to play on his intelligence for him to go that side. What I'm trying to say in a nutshell is that the people mind were already made up. Stanton Waterspoon did not make Joseph Yuma Boyka president. He did not make it. He contributed, but he did not take it from grass, from nothing to something. But the person that I would give it to will be Costa. Costa was on the radio for years, changing the minds of the people, abusing President or former President Weah, abusing Mr. Cummings. Costa was the game changer for the Unity Party to success today.
Terry, it's sad that the revenue is going in this direction.
I'm just saying my own truth.
I'm not saying, yeah, and that's it. And it's good that we are having the conversation. We're opening the line. I'm not saying Henry Costa was in a fight. But again, the finishing line in everything, anything is what matters. That's what matters.
He played that role, but he didn't play the role for
What his name? He used everything possible. You know, I know later on we all start getting to hear it when things went the way all of these true confections or whatever it is, it happens. He uses media. He uses his money, whatever influence, and media is powerful. And I can tell you,
media is powerful.
And I can tell you, and this is where CDC screwed up because they removed their eye from the real ball and all of those things. I was in the courtroom, and this is what Unity Party people never wanted. They never wanted Mr. Witherspoon to be put away because that would have been the handicap. And one of the things that vindicated him today, his lawyer was preaching in the court. I'm not saying they say, you know, all that if this guy if he were to be put away at that time, Liberia could run into crisis. It's media. And that was so amazing. Over 100 audios, voicemails, text messages, emails was displayed by his defense team. People calling in audios from Liberia, from Australia, USA, pleading that this guy, if he was to be put away, the country would be in chaos because the government was 199% demonized. And I'm surprised that, but smart people, for whatever reason, they didn't grab it, they didn't see it coming. So he is a factor. Now there's some sort of discontent is happening now. And I said that here before, because the folks that are around Boyka, those Moja socialist boys, the Samuel Kofi Woos and all of those people from the former JPC, these people have been trying hard to get within the proximity of power, and they are there now. So there are people so they know he who rides the back of the alligator goes into the belly of the alligator. So they know what he did. So the only thing they can do, they have to create their own boogeyman and draw that red line. Benjamin Netanyahu was speaking at the United Nations and draw that red line, which got him upset. You see, Fagon, how you going, Goto, and all of those things. So he is indirectly taking on all of these things because perhaps, and that's just my own observations, that Boyka is not doing enough. The folks of him, they are attacking him, they are doing everything. So you're like, okay. So now, breaking Lin Eugene Nabwe on his network today, the guy who is the chief of staff to the former president. From all we know, the former president, he's still a political factor. So what they are doing, they throw something out there to you and myself, to the ordinary Liberian, to see the other side of it. Don't be surprised. I'm saying that at some point in time, George Weah will appear on Spoon Network.
I won't be surprised either. But my thing is,
I'm not saying we don't know what going to be the implication, but you listen to Nabwe today. Nabwe is a very good communicator. Right. He knows how to kind of like get things around. But what I'm saying, the position now of the question now, who will Unity Party be making to be their voice? Is that Costa? Will we see Costa come? And even if Costa come, how will it be like? Because from all indication, this brother now is dicey. The water is dicey among them. So they got to figure out something in order for them to be relevant. So I'm just telling you as it is. But again, that's politicians. And all is about interest. Yeah, you know, I can do business with you first. It didn't go well. If the other ones, even though I screw you up first, but this time if you're willing, okay. You know, now we're hearing from him, the vice president going to be coming in. What is the motive of all of that? Someone who was one of the chief architects to bring this government into place and begin to give prime time. You know,
Yeah,
it's
Mr.
like
So,
you
Mr.
get a
Eugene,
Fox News now, you get a Fox News bringing some kind of a Democrat, a possible people from Democrat going on Fox News. What that does, you diminish, you cut through the gap of the equipment because that hits on the base. Take it away.
Mr. So, Eugene Nangwe, I believe the timing and all that was not appropriate. And you in the media, you would say no, but for me, I think it was not. I think almost like when the raccoon, another raccoon, but the opossum. When you want to get the opossum from the hole, you put smoke inside. So that's what Daniel Sano did. He put smoke in the hole for the job for president. We are people to come out. And Eugene Fagon, what his name? Eugene Nangwe followed the bait. So, and he brought himself also down to the limelight, and look at how the colors chew him up today, because these are faces that the people already know. Eugene Nangwe cannot even win his own community. He can win vote in his own community because he have a bad history. All right? That is the first thing. This was a man that stood on national television and telling his people that when they win the elections, no Unity Party person will be employed in his government, in the CDC-led government. These records are there. And there are many other records out there on him. So he's not supposed to be the face right now for the president. He can be, he's a good communicator, but where will your communication lead you when you already have a sour or narrative that have about you? So Daniel Sano, in as much as I disprove what his expression was to the former president, but it seems like the guy put the smoke in the opossum hole and brought it also. And now what happening here is that there are many unanswered questions, and today he declared that the president is running, which I think, again, that was a poor move. He could have said that, when the time is right, I believe that the people will go back to their leader, because the people themselves will see that former president did what he was supposed to do. So they will go and petition him and say, Papa, we want you to come back. And if that is the case, that is up to the president. He should have left it at that. But he declared that the man is coming back. Now, what you have done, you have brought your whole body. The opossum have brought your whole body also. So what I'm saying now is that he should have managed himself and spoke to issues, because right now it's still early. And even you see, the animal sometimes when you set the trap over and over, the animal can observe the trap. The animal will know the trap is there. And the animal will run away. The librarian people getting smart. They see in the trap. They know that the trap is being set already for them. So they're gonna dodge it, because that is the same trap you've been setting all along. You got to change. Sometimes you got to change the way you set the trap so the animal can fall inside. If the CDC refuse to rebrand the party, change some faces, they remain the same. They're going to be benched in 2029 if they're not careful by a man that I would least expect to bench former President which would be Jeremiah Cohn. If they're not careful, they tabata see they're doing. Focus on or unifying the opposition. Like the move President Weah were doing, he said, look, ACO and he's trying to revamp ACO. It's fine. Those are the kind of things the people won't be hearing. Rebrand the party, bring new faces, change the format, bring new people to talk for the party, citing some instances. But when the people begin to see these same old faces, they get agitated and say, but if Unity Party fail, is this the people we're going to bring? That's the trap. The same old trap set in the same old place. The animal will see it, and the animal will escape it. You understand? And I know the retina, all kind of gabata. They can go ahead. Y'all can beat on me. Y'all can curse me. Y'all say, and I'm nothing. Then it's up to you. That's my opinion, my brother.
The people don't abuse here. But I feel bad for you. I feel sorry for you. Politics, it requires commitment and loyalty. You must have a loyal person. What they are doing today, what you saw Eugene Nambwe is doing today, or CDC is doing today, it's good in politics to hold fire with your base. You don't want your base to be apprehensive of what your move is, you're indecisive, and so. So George Weah himself, we all seen it. He's not speaking. He's not going to be speaking now, but he's going to be putting his surrogate out there, who will say, "Okay, we screw up on some things, but we're going to do it this way. We're going to do it that way." You heard him saying today, he's speaking in a sort of exhortatory tone. We will rebrand. Well, this way, we will leave this way. And it came this way. So what he's doing, he's drawing the contrast, creating a political phobia into the enemy. And I know, whether we agree or not, George Weah is still a factor in the political process of life, because what happens when a politician get the committed people at all costs to go with them, those people will all go out. So what is left now is the leadership structure that were the challenge. I agree with you. The leadership structure, whether it will be properly restructured. Would they bring new faces? Would they be able to consolidate their position? Would they have that capacity? People that went away, they were actually that sort of transgression vote. There were some seditions who were so much committed, they felt left by the wayside by their party. So some of these votes were based on anger. Now, they still have a chance to see whether they can breach through that gap and bring them. And what sort of assurance can be given? Okay, when we come, we were there before, XYZ did not happen. So why you think it can happen this time around? Now, it left with the president, it left with the leadership to curve their message, to kind of reassure. That's all people want. People like to see people on their human side, to be empathetic and say, okay, we understand, and admit the fact that you screwed up. And that's what I'm waiting to see, whether this president, whether if he takes the public stage, whether he will admit to some of the careless things that he said in the open air, for example, when people were found dead, a boyfriend, girlfriend, and more or less goes in the church and say things that he shouldn't be saying, which is ridiculous. And people did not advise him, and they think it was okay. That screwed him up. So now, I think, sometimes you learn when you live from when the value of something that you have, if it goes away, then you learn. And I think his traveling, moving here and there, there's should possible lesson being learned. But like I said, for the big platform that supported this president, to give sort of prime time, what is the rationale? What is happening? You can't root people out. It all depends on how this government too want to conduct itself in terms of addressing these bread and butter issue, facing the reality. Some of the things that are frowned on the previous government, these things are being repeated over and over, even overboard. And there are people coming giving justification, like what you're doing now, giving justifications of some of the things. If that mood, if it's not changed, but I can tell you, the 2029 going to be a big open field. And what is interesting, I want to see the end point of how it's going to be a big open field. That I can tell you.
United Party and CDC.
United Party, CDC. I want to see how this thing even going to end up with Jeremiah Coon and the United Party. United Party is a hell of a halaki party, I'm telling you. I want to see how this relationship, we don't know yet. What I Joseph Boyka wants to do.
United Party have no option because they are out of options to carry a candidate. And you were talking something about loyalty, right? loyalty in a political situation is dynamic. It's not static. The same Eugene Nangbe you're talking about, he was with Unity Party, he was with CDC. He went and abused the same former president. We have somebody men here, they don't even know.
So, and to that point, which is a good point, and he made reference to that point. That's showing your himself. So that speaks to the value. So what he saw doing there today, he was speaking to people, he was talking to other folks who have this whatever perception believes that okay, George Weah is vindictive, he's unforgiving, he did this. So what he did, he uses himself as a case study. This is what I did to this man. You're saying this is who he is, but this is what I did to the man. That's part of that. I am still here today.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, it left for people to draw the line.
But that's what I'm saying. The people, even the sedition, don't trust him. That's why you see, yeah, that the American sedition here, they'll be talking, they want to in America. Well, you know, Liberia, they're doing the hustle here. That they don't want to be renting plenty. But the ones that back home who cast the votes, you don't know, Mr. Nangbe. Everybody, people, if Mr. Nangbe will even decide to run in your community, I doubt he will get 2 votes. What I'm saying is this. The seditionists know Eugene. All right. And when they made him the campaign chairman, that was some of the reason why CDC even lost the election. And you know, Mr. So you know that, but you're not going to say it. And I get it, you're not going to say it. But this is the thing here, right? He came from an angle that was very profound, you know, trying to give a clarity and stuff like that. But my point I was trying to make is that politics is dynamic. Look at Trump today. Trump got Elon Musk. Where did Elon Musk come from? 4 years before today, Elon Musk was not in existence with Trump administration. But today, Trump got Elon Musk. There were other people, other Republicans that were loyal to Trump then that went against him. Today, the dimension changed. This is politics. People can round up, people can switch, people can move around. So nobody is loyal outside of their interests. And all these people you see, the Eugene Nangbe, their interest is not these people that interest.
You understand what you're saying here, this even terrible.
I understand exactly what I'm saying.
After this conversation, you need to go
this guy will sell this man in a heartbeat for job position. And you know that. Politics in Liberia is about interest.
I understand. I'm not going to.
And one thing I love about the Maradona of politics, which is former Madam President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, she knew how to pinpoint major key figures of the CDC and position them in a corner that their mouth would be shut and that they will watch the CDC crumble. In this strategy here, the CDC got options that they can make happen. And I understand that. But is this the right guy? Is this the right guy? You know what I'm saying? That's my thing. Is this the right guy? But guess what? The Unity Party is happy that he came out to speak because they're going to respond. They definitely, and that is why they want that. Because guess what? They want to distract the public from what is actually going on. And CDC has given them an opportunity to do that.
No. United Party gives CDC the opportunity. Let's flip the coin here. You know, Donald Wayne is a son or whatever, the Deputy Minister for Public Affairs. When he speaks for the government. When he goes on attack on the former president, what that does, it gives rise to the opposition to have a talking point, to appear within the media landscape, to see the other side, to speak.
So why do you think he did that?
Who? Yeah,
in your own mind, why do you think Daniel Sano will have the audacity to keep attacking the president on 2 rounds of occasion?
That's the stupid. Yeah, that's the stupid things he did, and unfortunately, and this is where I just couldn't believe that. And the Unity Party herself could not even, somebody could not come out to have the balls to disassociate themselves. It's a distraction to you. It's like a self-destruction. You are in the driving seat. All right, you're driving this car here. You can't be driving and be collecting money at the same time when passengers are there, and then you take the guy who's supposed to do the collection, your car ball in the left runway, and you're telling them because you made me very yesterday, you're not going back. No. At this point, George Weah does not have, or the CDC does not have anything to lose. If there's anything to go wrong today, it's on Unity Party government of Jose Nyuma Boyka. Those were the same thing that they frowned on yesterday when Jefferson Koji and many others were making some careless and crazy statement in this very government that they serve, giving distraction. So I don't know why he did that. What was the purpose? But that was it gives the CDC a perfect storm to get Eugene Nangwe into surface. So the president not going to speak. So they were going to, because the president do not want the former president, he considered himself as a statesman. They want to reserve him as a statesman. They want to see him as a person of tolerance.
Yes.
To picture him on the other side, or he devices, he don't have to do it so well. He's going to use his own attack dogs, political attack dogs, like Eugene Nangwe and many other people. They know how to get this thing done. When they start talking, then the government will be compelled now to speak. So then the government becomes distracted. They begin to focus on things that they shouldn't be focusing on instead of pushing their own agenda. So that was a crazy and stupid thing. Sandra Johnson, he should have known better. And now to add another guy to ELBC, what his name? We are dropped out, who is also with the State Broadcasting Corporation.
Wow.
He doesn't understand the gravity of that position, equivalent as a minister. He attends cabinet meeting, and he runs the State Broadcasting Corporation. To tell the former president, you're out of job, I got a job, and the sitting president did not even speak to that. Nobody, even I put aside the president, if the president not speak, Unity Party, you can make, the party is still alive. They get a party leadership. You can make some sort of political statement. You can make some sort of political statement. This is the courage. This is what is lacking in our politics. No one is willing to take a political race because they want to keep their job. So why he did, now the other guy up there is now creating a drama, using all of this now to bring people and say, okay, so now you will be forced to speak, you as a government, because there's a distraction being inserted into your agenda. Instead of focusing on your agenda, you're pressing, there's a self-destruction within now by saying something to give the people the chance. But let me put a number out here. And
but you see, you strike a point. That's a good point. But what I'm also looking at too is also a means for which the government is going to distract we the Liberian people, all right, to carry on the operation, because you, the opposition, supposed to be responsible to hold the government feet to the fire. Now you're going to be going back and forth with them to be defending yourself and doing and responding that you on the offense with them, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, the government is the one sitting in power. But here is the thing, you talk about loyalty, right? In politics, and that is one of the problems the former president has. He thinks that people are supposed to be loyal to him in politics. This is a free advice to you. Nobody loyal to you when it comes to politics, because everybody is fighting for their interests. The man who supported you today could be supporting different person tomorrow. Like we just talking about Stanton Waterspoon, which is a gain for the CDC. But do they know how to handle what is happening now? Do they understand how to handle it? Do they know how to maintain political relationships? Do they know how to respect people for the political opinion, regardless of the political decision? No, because you know what they feel? They feel that people are supposed to be loyal to them even when they're not giving them nothing. And that does not happen in a political theater. That can happen with seditions or reactions, but not a person who understands who they are and know their capability politically, what they bring to the table. They want something. And everything is interest. And that is what you see. Unity Party, one of the things they do, they fight to maintain relationships. Like somebody, like you said, what Unity Party brought. I think somebody wrote there what the Unity Party bring, what they have. The people, what face they change. They changed the face of Unity Party. They removed Madam Sirleaf. They brought in the vice president. Then the vice president started bringing other faces from other political parties to help him. And based upon, and within a short period of time, JMB and Jeremiah Kun were not friendly. Jeremiah Kun were on the public radio insulting the man. How did they get friendly? Interest. Politics is about interest. You want to win. When you win tomorrow, they will not say, oh, that Jeremiah Kun government. They will say that President Bokas's government. So you, former President Weah, need to put down your pride and engage people on the level that they understand, which is on the basis of interest. Not on the basis, oh, you got to be loyal to me, you got to submit to me, I'm the godfather, and all of that. Other than that, you will continue to be on the bench.
Okay, I believe that's a number. Okay, let me pick up this number here.
They're coming for me. Let me come run away.
Oh, you want to run away? Good evening, caller. What's your name and where you coming from?
Yeah, good evening, CEO.
Oh, Dr. Joy Toto, the liberal ally.
I'm not going to call myself Doctor.
Why? Dr. Toto.
I will call you. I see you tweeting crazy here. Let's hear you. How things? Let's hear you.
Let me greet Terry, this studio. This is a good discussion tonight. I'm listening for the discussion live.
Okay. Let me just watch the other caller and then okay, caller, hold on 1 second. Let's hear you, Dr. Toto.
Look at the interview that we have on school today. See how you address some of the comments. Talking about President Weah coming back in 2009. Like Terry was saying, President Weah, when it comes to the popularity, yes, he has a popularity. He has the people love him or like it. He has other characteristics, but he need to come down. He think people owe him royalty, and that's one of the biggest problems. And even when President Weah was managing the national team, some of the colleagues they spoke about the very issue that Terry is discussing about. And he think by him winning the last election, and the people wanted to try to see who he was, and now the people are seeing him. He had to change his mentality.
Right.
He had to change the focus. He had to change the political playing game. If at all, he want for the Liberian people to give him another opportunity to 2029. The only type of attitude that he has is that people owe him, people will bow down with him, people owe him loyalty and lead there, and that whether he will make it a secretary in Liberia. Just to add to the discussion.
Yeah, absolutely. And those are good observations. Okay, if you want, you can stay there. Let's see another caller. And the caller, are you there?
Yeah, how you doing?
Good. How are you? What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Joseph Tamba, and I call you from Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio. Mr. Tamba, how are you this beautiful Friday evening?
Well, I'm trying to be good.
Okay, where are we going wrong here? Let's put us in check. What's your side of the story?
So, I don't know if Terry actually understanding himself when he's speaking. He's saying that Eugene came out and said to the Liberian people that President Weah is.
Okay, let me just watch this guy here. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Tamba.
So, what's wrong with President Weah or Eugene announcing that President Weah is running? Do you think the way Unity Party won election was deception? And today they are struggling. It means that everybody should do the same thing. We should be fair to our people. We should respect the people. We should tell the people the truth and not lies. This is why our country is not moving forward, because people with interest come and lie. Like Terry. Terry said he compared Trump and his party. But one thing I want him to know, that America is in Liberia, and we should not deceive the people. Let us work for the people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Tamba, before I bring in the next caller here, who you think was deceiving who?
Well, the United Party, according to
What? Caller, I try to immerse you and everybody went off. Okay, let me get you 612 number. Let's hear you. What's your name and where you calling from?
Joyce, calling from Minnesota.
What's your name, please?
Joyce.
Oh, Joyce. Okay. Let's see. Good evening. Let's see.
For today, Friday, what I have to say to the Liberian people and the politicians in Liberia, we need to be very, very honest to the people that fought for us. We that sit in America, our mind thinking is different from people that live in Liberia. And then most of the time when we the American Liberians sit on all platforms, then we assume this is what Josh we are saying, this is what Josh we are want, this is what Josh we are thinking. Because we the Liberians always think for people, always assume for people. And for me, I see nothing in wrong that you think Name did today. He said the truth. Joe, we are coming to it now. I'm not a citizen. I always say this. Joe, we are coming to it now. It better to know that if the Liberian people don't want him, they start building up their mind for the newcomer that will come tomorrow. You better tell the people the truth and the just and toward everything. Well, we're going to be so nice in less than 1 year time. And right now, we got boys cutting the generator off on the airport. Today again, the airport went black. Now we're talking about yellow machine. Neutral friend, I know I'm going to give for a yellow machine. Now the vice president coming to see yellow machine, they're talking about millions of dollars for the vice president coming on now to tell you're going to be $20 million, $22 million for the sea and man a yellow machine. If we're not truthful to each other, like we're not going nowhere because Liberian politician he lie to get a woman, but he can't lie to support her. Because she tell you to start lying to support her, that's a different ballgame we're talking right there.
But you know, your women before the American, we gotta put us on high grade and first. You know, when you get it now, then you start going.
No, for me, I like for
the first level what you put inside I will get you all the children that you get.
Yeah, it's gonna be true. The person like you, who you are, they will still take you.
Sometimes when it comes to that one, it be too true for you, not get it because you don't get it hard.
But Terry, I really appreciate you sometimes. When you speaking for our president, I really appreciate you, and I love your courage. You know, sometimes as a male woman, you have to have confidence in yourself. Because if you don't have confidence in yourself, nobody will come to the church. And everybody watching the platform, they're watching you. So what you have confidence that you didn't
Joyce, I told you to go to the main church. I told you to go to the main church and do secret recording. You know why?
But I'm not a church need.
Oh, they may say church some kind of highway. I don't know highway 60. What do you say?
The man in Minnesota?
Yeah, but
the person who called in Minnesota?
Sometimes I get married. Sometimes I really appreciate your courage. You have to speak the truth for your government. No problem. We accept everything you say because we keep on the matter what we agree.
You know what you know what you were telling me? You know what you were telling me? He said sometimes he can want something, but then when the spirit of God comes in, he said, you gotta speak the spirit. You gotta speak. If you don't speak, Holy Ghost will fire him. So then he say that Lpr get mad and everybody flew away. Okay.
It's okay with Esedu. We encourage him to speak the truth and whatever it is.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, folks, Mr. Tamba, I didn't meet it. I think the call came and everybody went off, so you can call back. Yeah, but I think that's a point. Politics is something though, and I agree with you on things that you said. But if George Weah is the former president, and I agree with what Dr. Toto said, he needs to show the other side of him.
Right.
And what I expected, if I were providing some sort of counsel, and that's the thing. People, we have a lot of dishonest people. People don't tell leaders the truth. And part of that because they want to be seen as the closer ally to these leaders. And that happened repeatedly over and over to some other these former president. I've talked about now more than a year now, this president will come up publicly to speak. It's good for people to see your other human side of the story. So that people, even who adjudicated you, people who's going to say, oh, I thought the men were like this. And then people were starting, oh, there were people stepping. But I thought by this time, especially if from all what we're seeing, which most likely to want to say re-election, the good thing about it, the age is in his favor, and every other thing advantage is still there. He has a very strong political base. But if he could show his human side to just come out and admit and say some things, yes, I think I have learned that. I have seen, power. There were some things that I said I shouldn't, but we need to move on. I take responsibility. This is what is lacking in our Liberian politicians. Even when it is wrong, they will put up Google and say no. You see the American politician, and maybe because of the society that we have, when the tension and the next thing they count, their woman will stand by their side and they face to 10, 20 microphone and say, I take responsibility. Right. Because when you do that,
people can trust you.
People to say, okay, let's give this guy a second chance. But every other thing, you just try to deliberately water it down, and you think you will
deny it. Yeah. You deny it.
And it's real. And even when the time comes, those things will come out. But if you apologize for now, even for some of the things that you don't know, then not everything that's under the watch of a leader, it is with the acquiescence of that leader. You have some crazy loyalists who do things and think that they're doing it for the leader. The leader don't know, but the leader will never come or say, oh, then I'm there. Okay, we understand that. But when the dust settles, then you need to come out as a human being. Everything that happened. Yeah, Mr. Tamba, sorry, I think we're gonna lose.
Fatuma said the child that never died.
I'm so sorry. So just to let you know, I think when the other call came and started arguing, everybody just went off. But
I really see trouble.
So I think Terry needs to be very sincere to his country.
Today he might
be in the United States, today he might be in Europe, but he got a lot of family members that are struggling in Liberia. Today he might have contact with the president and getting whatever. I'm not accusing you, but you have a lot of family members.
Mr. Tama, now you're not accusing the Terry say you get contact with the president.
I'm drinking Fanta. They kind of they put buying $1.2 million car. I'm drinking Fanta.
So it's a unity party. They are very deceptive.
Oh yeah.
I'm getting money for nobody, brother.
They will hide everything. Let's take for example, this current president. Before he got elected, everyone knew that the old man is sick. The old man is sick, everybody can get sick. Everybody can die. The people who want him will go for him. You think it is because Mr. President Bagai is very, very, how do I term it? He's a good manager. No, if he were a good manager, he had been fired from job 3 times.
Okay, let's have a little conversation here, and it's at your own will, the pleasure. You want to answer the question, fine. If you don't want to answer, we can move in. Let me ask you: are you a supporter of former President Weah?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you think, is there anything that you have in mind, you as a supporter to the former president? Let's pretend the former president was listening to this conversation this evening. What will be your sort of suggestions or advice, or what would you like to see the president doing now, if at all he wants to come back?
Yeah, so right now, the former president has no power to do anything much in a country as a leader, but he can talk to his people, especially the party. And one weakness I have with him all the time, and even today, he's too soft. He's too lenient.
He's soft? What do you mean by he's soft? Soft with what? Lenient with who?
Okay, to take decision against people, he always feels that, in my mind, every family needs to survive.
Okay.
Let's say, for example, the Unity Party, when he came and met them on the job, most people undermine his administration. They fought his administration while working with him. But he said, I'm sure, he thought that they are all like, in fact, he said it several times, they are all Liberian.
Okay. All right.
Yes, we are all Liberian, no matter where you come from. No matter where you come from, the country is our country, you can do your job. Unlike Omer Buckeye King, then you can see what he's doing.
Okay.
But Terry is proud of that.
All right. Thank you so much.
Terry is happy that somebody lose the job.
All right. Let's start between my man and me. All right. Mr. Tamba, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Let me bring in Breakable. Terry, get ready for receive another bazooka. Breakable, are you there?
No, how are you, Mr. So, since he's very Navy, have you seen Pastor to refuse to get a church address? Pastor?
Oh my God.
Looking for member?
Breakable.
Refuse to get a church address?
Oh,
have you ever seen?
Jesus. Breakable. Come on. You asked Terry for a church address and he didn't give it?
No, you right on the story platform. Since he's there, have you ever heard Terry announce a church address? Have you ever heard it? Even Jenna, the lady asked several times. She asked several times, where church at? Even you are saying, trying to get out of phone, or the next one in Howie.
Okay, another rescue man here. Mr. David is in the house. Go ahead. Current David, come and deal with you. But go ahead.
No, I wish I would be the last behind him, but let me talk continue. Look, listen, Terry. And Mr. Swad, I didn't know you, but the team just said you too. Since all the presidents that lose election and come back and win election, when last have you seen that making such a statement you talk about President Gababi? First of all, they may never make.
You know, make one no mistake.
The statement saying that they will come back and say, oh, I sorry, I saw do that, they want, I saw do that one. Even the Trump won election, the Ghana president has won an election. They don't even see me. And today, Eugene made similar statement that the man said, you know, we did this one. Also do the commitment with me, the party that joined us, we know implement the commitment. We don't really support that, even though we get some.
So let me ask you now, because this is how some of you can be so ridiculous that support former president Weah. Are you seeing everything on the watch or on during the last whatever years, everything was 100% perfect? Is that what you're saying?
Not at all. But what the statement you want for you to say is not, it cannot be. Every government, government is best.
What is the statement? What was it?
All the time.
What did I say?
And that one I just said, you know, my step.
No, you said a statement I made.
My own set view. My own set view. Because we are now changed. You know, we should be the cabinet. That one, when I see what to say, I got problem with that. You saw reshuffle.
Why you have problem with him?
That's what I see. That's the problem. How he?
So okay. So if I say that the former president should come and take responsibility, even whether directly, indirectly, and that's what the same thing we are talking. And the
reason they kind of way that he lost the election. That's the reason they because the mistake he made, did not do this thing. That's why he lost the election. So coming back, everybody knows the mistake made. You recognize the mistake as a person or still supporter or him saying it. Even you don't want to show say it. We make a commitment with some of those people that will us. So we don't implement the commitment because we don't fulfill the commitment.
So let me tell you, these are the bad advices. You were one of those advising any president, that president will not win anything because they're not Eugene Nambwe looking. Eugene Nambwe is just an add-on to the president, the former president voice as a surrogate. The people, the Liberian people will want to hear from him directly because ultimately at the end of the day, he's going to be making decisions that are Eugene Nambwe. So he is the one.
Granted. But that is not obvious or compulsory stuff to do. Okay. Because
my hair hurting right now.
I beg you, come to my statement. I can't make you.
Yeah, make it because my hair is hurting right now.
Listen, Terry. You tell my president, you say start campaigning so soon. Do you know your government start campaigning? Your government, they don't start campaigning. Okay. Do you know your government there are two big government guys in our country? The Guaga government and the Kun government. You know that?
No. Don't make those sort of proclamation here. We don't have two governments in the country.
So you already there. They said in the executive marshal, they are there. They have a meeting every day. You there.
The breakable that they say you listen to, they say that fast.
Let me bring Clarence. Okay. Let me bring it. Call back. Thank you so much. All right. So, Clarence.
Yeah, so how you doing?
Good. I'm having a severe headache right now.
You want to come to my chat? Let me get you the address, the breakable. That you breakable I want to see. I want to
let you be the usher that day. Or maybe if you get him Pope as a visiting pastor when you finish with your whole church. Okay, let's hear you, Mr. Davis. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. They talking this evening on contribution, with the rescue ball.
Oh, God.
We are here, we are the counterweight.
Here we go.
The fact that the matter, I listened to Eugene Nambwe tonight, and there are a lot of contradiction here statement tonight. He said that if President Weah do come back to power, whatsoever the majority black grade is getting here, they will call that illegal. But then they ask if President Weah be paid by the government. He said, yeah, he take it paid. So why President Weah is not refusing the money to say, I'm not accepting any pay from the government because the speaker they have in the office, an illegal speaker, he had a budget apart, it's illegal. But he's receiving the money. Then at the end of the day, tomorrow you can't say that these people are illegal. That's a contradiction. And the second point I there again, how can President Weah, all the things that happen in the country, you said that President Weah did it 1 year, he did it 1 year. But you don't want to accept it getting in the wrong that happened. If President Weah won't come back to power, now Eugene Nambwe get a chlamydia. When you see, I can compare Eugene Nambwe with a clock photo. What the sunshine there when you in your clothes.
Okay.
So if it depends on Eugene Nambwe, it happened. Before 2020, now the time will tell. Who knows where Eugene Nambwe will cross over? And the third point that he said, all the people that they are in the coalition, although they are misleading, you execute all your people that are in collaboration with you. You think we will be willing to join CDC? So if they are thinking that that President Weah will not come back to the Nigerian to tell them sorry, it becomes a great to just tell them, they go platinum, get on the go platinum, I think they'll be living their dream. And Unity Party is not sitting down. There's about 1 year, 3 months. And the party that just took over the country 1 year, 3 months time, they're making comparison with 6 years. I don't know how they got in thinking. But they had a long way getting there. They have a long way to explain. To me, I think they got to go on BBC and get more, awareness compared, instead of trying to sponsor and get here to convene a nation. I don't think now the way the nation will be convened. You saw about a young machine today in the country. Which of the country don't want growth in their country? Which of the country don't want development? We just starting. So that the noise minority, that they be making a noise, and we be making a development, Mr. So.
Clarence Davis, rescue number one. You the rescue number one.
I'm the rescue supporter.
You the rescue supporter. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. So. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, Clarence.
Yeah, you see, Breakable, and many others who, and that's how the leaders, today's leaders are contaminated.
Right.
Because nothing is wrong.
That's
That
the
is
thing,
bad.
Mr. So. Nothing is
You
wrong.
coming to apologize, is no way that it can remove your name. We are not saying then that's the largest guilt ever. But you are just only expressing that sort of remorse, the human side of your story, that there were some things that happens under your watch. You didn't sanction it. They're not everything the president knows about, but all the people who are loyalists, they do some crazy thing with the hope of, the president. So, but at the end of the day, you take the blame, So if you can't come, now you're not president to say, oh, I take responsibility, wait a minute. But I disagree with Mr. Davis to say, well, the president is entitled to his benefit as a former president. It doesn't mean he cannot express it. But what Eugene Nabwe did say was that, and if they come to power, anything that happened that has some sort of constitutional violation, they will visit it. I think that's a fair statement.
But obviously,
you said, but if there's anything, so we created that condition to say, okay, maybe there was a wrong. There was something that the date, the government, whatever incoming government, they have the right to come back. Now, with this sort of saying here, do you think the former president will ever take the stage? Or do you think he will speak openly to the public, to the Liberian people, to say, okay, even though I said this when I was president, I'm no longer president. I've come to realize at the time, I was the father of the nation. So you are like a twins mother or father of many children. So you get plenty of children, they get the one that can steal, they're there. The one that can lie, they're there. The one that can do all kinds of things. Everybody in that basket of deplorable. But there is no babush for a child. I take responsibility of even the one that I've raised, the one that I brought in to embrace. They stole somebody doing, they knocked somebody's phone. I take responsibility. I am a grown father now. Terry, what's wrong with that?
He will do it. Let me tell you, President Weah is a smart man. You see, in as much President Weah made a last, that is where he turned it around. And you see, people remember the last thing you do. And was from that time I respected him for him to call former president. God forbid, President GMB announced publicly that look, we lost the election. If the man can do that, President Weah is not big to say, look, there were some things that happened in my leadership that were not right. This was my first time in leadership. And there were people who did some things under me. I have no idea to it. But I want to apologize. And I want you guys to give me another chance to finish what I intended to do that I was not able to accomplish. And watch and see the process. Like I've been saying, Liberians are sympathetic people. You understand? And that is what it is. He will do it. Look, the last thing that President Weah did, I believe that former President Weah, I believe that was a decision that he took on the basis of a decision that he himself, if he had this kind of guts in him prior to the end of his leadership, but now Liberia is a different country. And I know he has some of that kind of intuition wherein to make decision on his own unilaterally as a president. But because of his surrounding, people were dictating to him, he had to suppress it until he got angry when they messed the whole entire election up. They couldn't even find their own tally sheet. They were just making the other man jump up. Oh yeah, we get a tally sheet. Yeah, we already win the election. Where is the tally sheet? According to they say, they couldn't find the tally sheet. Monies that were disbursed to pay people that were in the various polling precincts were not paid. So the time the tally sheets were supposed to come, you the ruling party, and who were the political, I mean the campaign chairman, Eugene Agwe. You see, so these are the failures that took place under his leadership. You were not able to secure a second term, and you are the guy coming up. So,
Yeah.
so I don't understand. I don't understand.
You're quite correct.
What they're really doing. I don't understand what they're doing.
I think you're on point on that. The fact of the matter here, the former president, he was unable to maintain a coalition. That is a problem. I remember when I visited Labrador, I went under the Sacred Bush at the time, Molu was there. And a lot of people used to come from different Zori. There were a lot of money being sent out to support. Campaign is costly. It's all about money. You don't want to talk to people. Even here, come on, 30-second area is almost like $1 million. So money is very vital in the electoral process. And people were coming that they were not given the money required. And what happened? You call what his name's number? He was the head. He was the head of the campaign. He was doing everything. What was the action taken? I don't see anything concrete, substantive to arrest the situation. That anger other people. He was unable in a crucial, heavily contested election.
Right.
Natalia McGee was sent as an emissary to meet when all of the whole rigmarole are going. That's the difference with the pumpkin pie. The pumpkin pie can release, if he was the chairperson, the role that Eugene Nagbe was playing. If Nathaniel McGay was the chairperson of CDC during the last election, trust me, he was going to do everything possibly can. Financial violence will be applied to do anything to make a political deal with his name, the late Senator Prince Johnson. That was lacking, and that was the biggest
mistake
in the process of an election. And you are unable to maintain your ally. You are unable to let go, to make that political sacrifice. And you have other people are talking, oh man, we now see it, we're done with it. It's okay. That's what happened because Prince Johnson was making a specific demand, and he indirectly said that today that he was demanding. Mike, we were hearing from a lot of sources he wanted $3 million. But no, Prince Johnson, not for nothing. Which, of course, the money need that we heard, even if it's true,
right.
CDC had to wage an effective campaign. And Mange came back to the people where I met the old man. The man said, "You want 3? Let's give him 5." He said, "We're not doing it."
But that's what because they didn't understand
the money. You are demanding those positions. Are you going to sign what? Some sort of treaty? That's politics.
But also,
you get the first ministry after down the road, you decide to make cabinet reshuffle. Who gonna do it? You say, why you do that?
Yeah.
So I don't understand. That is immaturity and lack of understanding of what was unfolding on
innovation. Lack of political innovation. Mr. So let me tell you something. Let me add to what. Look, these people, it's almost like Real Madrid and Barcelona playing. Madrid score 2 goals. Then they score 2 goals in their home. Then they rejoicing and forget about the people. They gave Unity Party the greatest comeback in the history of politics. In Liberia, the greatest comeback. After Unity Party, the coalition that they formed, the CPP and all of that, how they used to call this CPP, how they call them? They how they formed that CPP. CDC was strategically enough, strong enough to separate it. They were able to scatter it. It did not hold. Unity Party never had nothing. These people were struggling to pay the headquarters, the party, the rent for the party. Just imagine a ruling party who were in power for 12 years could not afford to pay their own rent. This was the people that you brought back. Let me tell you, this I don't know what kind of comeback. This was the greatest comeback because the people had already lost the coalition they had. What were they depending on to come back? What were they depending on? The Liberty Party, Musa Belete, was strategic enough to split the Liberty Party. So what United Party were depending on? They were working with 1 foot. There was a 1 foot giant already wounded. You allowed, like Barcelona came back from behind Real Madrid and scored 2 goals, aggregate, and then gave them number 3. And that was the game was over. The game was over. So yeah, so that is what it is. Innovation, political innovation.
So, okay, the Liberian investigators reporting President Boyka orders probe into the RRA blackout. What are we going to get out of this?
Let us off again.
No, I mean, the president is calling for the investigation. I'm just saying, what are we going to get? How many investigations are we not called for? And we don't know what really the end point, or it's just
I thought you would have fired somebody by now because they said the birds caused the stuff. But maybe the investigation.
These Fox G's, you remember the Hudson River or something where U.S. Airway? It does happen, right. But before then, there were multiple statements coming. This is why these apparatus, these agencies, they should work simultaneously. But everybody that they can turn, nobody want to do something. They're supposed to work. So when these things come, you can't just be reactionary. Because when one branch that has something to do, come and put a statement, and the other group can't put it, and the other one can't put it, you kind of like, you disorient everybody. You confuse people. They don't know what to believe, and you just can't, because you listen to that hearing. How the senator, I don't know who that senator is, but he really grilled the director general of whatever at the place there.
You're talking about Senator Sajo. Yes, Sajo was interviewing him too.
Yeah, they were the one that was asking that question. I think I have the clip here. I don't think that one that was not Sajo said. See yourself, well, let's just see here. Let's play it here a little bit, and then we'll have a conversation.
Escalators, whatever. So when we talk over, firstly, in fact, before we talk over the Liberia, because in the airport business it has to do with the state. Even if you say RRA, they will say the state of Liberia.
Mr. Manager, you wait. I'm questioning you here, and I use my time to ask you more. I ask you a direct question. You were given an opportunity by the 2 chairpersons to give your opening statement. You should have taken us from where you met the airport to where you've taken it. You will not use my questioning time for all that narrative. My question to you, why do you have to keep your job after this disaster? Given the fact that we're already going on the kind of pariah state of the airport with all that you name it, instead of scoring 75, which is the bare minimum, we got 27. Why should you keep your job when there's no electricity for some place to land, especially an international one that may force about everything?
Honorable Senator, I can say that I am the best state in the country when it comes to airport operations and management. I've been in the business 40 years. I flew airplanes for Air Liberia, for the country. I served as Assistant Minister at the Ministry of Transport. It was under my pen that we took the CAA, the regulatory body, out of the political framework of the Ministry of Transport. Because in 2002 or 3, I represented Liberia to the General Assembly Akao in Montreal, and I made a presentation for technical cooperation.
Yeah, man, why should you keep your job on a simple matter? Answer my question. Why should you keep your job?
Ambassador, my first statement was that because I'm qualified.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the best state in the country.
You know, Mr. MD, where you taking me? It reminds me of 2001. What was the airline that used to fly between Nigeria and Europe and San Diego? It crashed and killed 125 people. And then they went for the hearing with the president, the managing director. That's exactly what you say. Oh, Mr. President, when we check, you think we are checking, we'll come back, we'll check. And before we fly, then we check. And then somebody will come and check what we check. The president told him, sit down. If you are checked that much, you are checked that much, 125 thereby. If you were so meticulously the best, they were persistent in what just happened. 11 said they were all for 9 hours. You people talking about your system. You know, for people in the Ghana, they think that's not big thing you're talking about. I have
Mr. Collins, I've never seen a senator of late. Maybe there are other things being happening and I missed it. I've never seen a lawmaker to be so focused and did not allow this guy to cajole him because he was trying to go. He said, no, don't even go there with him.
You wanted to drag him up?
Yeah, he wanted to put him in the kind of jajating there, but he brought him back to baseline and put him in check. And I mean, it was just super. If everybody can just hold people accountable, because that was just, I was not even, I saw it, I was just getting annoyed because the man asking simple question. Yes, you are qualified, but your qualification did not perfect its actions. It did not show itself. Why you didn't put something in place to have a void to get them to be where they are? That was the substance of the question. And where you fly, who cares whether you fly, you go to Japan or Baghdad, all of that. If the
whether you work with transport ministry or that, what was that to do with that?
That's how they behave. So, but the man did not allow that to kind of like distract him. He was very strategic. He was very focused on his question because he wanted an answer, and he didn't do that. You saw what he did. He dragged him to the scenario of the whatever plane he was talking about, and said, if it was something, this couldn't have happened. That was just super. I mean, on the part.
But that explains why we're going to continue to have further crisis at the airport, because this guy is saying he's the only and most qualified aviation technician or whatsoever he is in the country. Can you imagine that? And you can't even present. You can't even tell us what's the fault clearly. You carry all to Buchanan in New Land or all kind of places.
I said you listen to the extent of that conversation because the same doctor, they asking where he playing. They call you for hearing. They let you show your man. You go to the war front, then you can't go no shot inside. Then who the enemy you going to fire? You know,
but you see, so we are to be blamed too. These senators that are in the house, you want to tell me they don't have an aviation or technician that can give them heads up when you guys finish explaining? I think somebody was saying the same thing the last time that Dr. Mada or one of them. You need a professional person for every aspect of the job description under your oversight responsibility. Most of these senators do not have any professional. They don't have technocrats in our place that will be able to evaluate and make research on these things. So when these people come and lie heavily to them, they don't have no way of correcting or recommending to the president that people be fired. Because the man asking you simple question: why do you need to keep this job? Given the fact that you endanger the life of more than 500 persons, why should we keep you?
Yeah.
That alone is sufficient.
He didn't answer that question. And that was a very open-ended question that required to lay out the foundation why, but instead he took a different way, but the guy caught him and brought him to baseline. Okay, well, today's Friday. What happened to your people tonight?
I don't know. Maybe Labour guy had goat soup on and all that kind of thing. I don't want to.
Yeah, oh, for to send message, say today Friday, so the Labour fin tying your goats and all of that. Okay.
But Labour say his birthday was when, today or yesterday?
Don't matter, man. Every day he just a jealous old man. You see people birthday, then he made on a birthday. So don't mind. Who care about the Labour birthday? Yeah, anyway, Walter. Oh my girl. So what CCLTA move en route to ICE, blah blah blah. Man 43 charged with murdering girlfriend over pound one dispute. Can you imagine? Pound one. The trouble in our country, and this is where the issue of this mental health are going to be hosting somebody here on Sunday, Dr. Telman Khan, a psychologist, are going to be hosting on here on this Sunday in the first edition before we come on. But until then,
did you say
psychiatrist? I think it's. I have to double check. Dr. Khan, Telman Khan in Minnesota. There. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna be hosting it. But before we go, what's your final word?
Well, the show was fine, even in as much as you know, we only 2 years. I don't know where everybody going today, but maybe today Friday.
It was quiet and peaceful. With the Jared Boashena here, Liberal Boashena here. You see how we had a cordial conversation here tonight? But you're gonna be able to start screaming and yelling, and everything just went cool. Yeah, go ahead.
See, the Brigable said my government made it. The Senate protest to refuse to follow the instruction. I don't understand. Breakable, the government is not.
You get used to breakable now. Eh?
No, I know. Breakable, our man. But Mr. So, to be honest with you, the rescue government have 4 more years to prove themselves. And if they don't prove themselves, there are so many opportunities for the opposition to win the next elections. Jeremiah Kuhn's success is predicated upon Unity Party delivery. They have to deliver. Even if not 100%, they got to deliver at least 70% of the promises and on the rescue agenda. You know, and what was saddening to me, in as much as I like Koga in Nima County, what was saddening to me is that the elections in Nima County is highly traditional. Thereby, people are going to vote on the basis of tradition instead of voting on the basis of delivery. And if this happens as the way we are, participating or anticipating, the way we are anticipating it to happen, it will be very sad. That means that Liberia is not making progress democratically in the right direction. And that is sad. Because we're supposed to be making decisions on the basis of deliverables instead of tribal politics. It's not because Prince Johnson died, so that means that he was a hero and he was very strong. So somebody else who's strong like him is supposed to take over from him according to the tradition. I think if the people of Nima County vote in that manner, in as much as I predict that Koga is going to win, and for the very same reason why I predict that he's going to win is why is what I'm against. That mentality, to vote for somebody on the basis of their tribal line. If we can state the deliverables, let people tell us what they're going to do politically. What are you going to do? What are you going to engage for the Nima people? What are your plans towards transforming Nima County? What are going to be your advocacy? What are the laws you're going to put forth for the transformation of the people in Nima? That's what we want to hear. So I felt that when I listened to Samuel Koga on the OKFM the last time, he expressed a deep revelation about the traditional history of pre-Johnson, and based upon that traditional foundation, he claiming that the Nima people will vote for him because of that. I thought that that was very sad if Liberia goes down that road. Thank you for the show.
Okay, that's our senior analyst, Mr. Collins, live joining us from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Thank you, Terry, as always. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And just to let you know, we're going to be having a meeting before you go. To all our viewers, our followers, we'll be reaching out to you. Mr. Dote, Godwin, we are Dote. Thank you so much for joining us. Master Kali, thank you so much for coming. Of course, Prince Sherry from the Palava Heart, Breakable, Teddy Lion Te Nyakon. It's a hardcore sedition, man. We're going to be in the coming days, week time, we will unveil some initiative here from the Liberia Public Radio, at which time, sorry, I don't know, my hand hit this stuff. At which time we come up publicly and disclose and tell you exactly what we need. Hey, Mr. Trocon, I got to reach out to you. We'll start reaching out people here. We always say here, and some of you have been asking why we can't raise more funds, do this, and we kind of remain resolute for the fact that yes, we want money, but we want to do enough. We want to show enough why you should even give a $5, $10, or $50. We don't want to take advantage of people's kindness and like people just raising money without justification. We do not want that. We do not intend to do that. Now we have reasons. What is that reason? We will unveil it in the coming days, week, hopefully in the coming week, why we want to do it. And then, you're still liable to ask questions. And so we're going to be reaching out to good friends, Mr. Stevens, Ganganons, good to have you here. Thank you so much. And all of you. If this is the first time, we say we are wholeheartedly welcome, but we want to be reaching out to you, and we'll set that idea, and we'll need your suggestions in that vein. But we're just waiting on 1 or 2 information to make sure and condense everything before we can get that out. And from the management side, we're also going to be having our in-house meeting with respect to what we want to see happening, how we intend to keep this network alive. Mr. Collins, thank you so much. You see how the conversation is so peaceful here. Your guys not here tonight. Now, when they are here, I seems to be the bad guy. They pin me to be the bad guy. They project me to be someone who don't like this government because for whatever reason. But the liberal is entitled to his opinion, which is okay. So that's okay.
But Breakable is Breakable in Minnesota? You want to come to the chat? Where you living? What in Minnesota? You're not in Minnesota, Breakable.
They get plane here. You walking by land. They get train.
Yeah, when you ready, send me your text. Send me your text, and I will send you the address so you can come. Send me your text. I will send you the address.
We'll get it to George for let George go see the
media.
We'll let Joyce to go there and see the first survey. How your first survey can be.
Who Joyce?
No, I said Joyce. The lady I called from Joyce, and one of our strong followers from Minnesota. She wants to see whether you get assistant.
Oh, she wants to kind of.
Yeah, or whether you the one can collect the offering and preach and carry a basket and all those kind of things. We want to make sure for before Breakable.
Oh God.
Okay, my man. Collins, thank you.
Thank you,
much.
Mr. So. Yeah.
All right. Good. Bye. So, folks, that does it. It's 9:57 Eastern Standard Time. I want to thank you so much for sharing your evenings with us right here on the Diaspora Informative News Magazine, Liberia Public Radio. We say thank you so much for joining us here this evening. And as always, please don't hesitate. Send your comments, your tweet. And hey, Mr. Yawatet, good to have you here. Tapel Lemons Jibe. Man, walk up out here. I can see the final audio. You better play the never. James Oywood, the Liberian journalist, the one of the strong supporter of President Boyka. You know, the diversity on this network is huge. Again, a female analyst, not just on a female, young male. Look, come here. Let's have this conversation. It's critical. We need to have this conversation for the good of the country. And the great thing here, even the analysts and all of our followers, despite of these high tensions, whatever ongoing, civility is maintained at all times on this network. Even to the extent, even when we disagree, people exercise maximum tolerance to air their views, to speak out, and all of that. That is huge. Dr. Toto, good to hear you. Dr. Toto, I'm going to be calling you. Or if you can please call me, that's fine. Mr. Moses Van Banant, hopefully I'll get it right. Mr. V, if you were to call you, thank you so much. Your commitment to this network cannot be overemphasized. And like I said, we're going to be reaching out to you guys in the coming days and week. We would unveil what we have been doing. And I hopefully we can get more from you, but we want to have enough of the information that we are packaging so that we'll be able to make a genuine and reasonable case why you should give for $5 or $10. We want to do that. We can't take people, people, we know very well people work hard for their money in this place here. So when you're asking people, you must give a convincing reason. I had a friend who was getting married. I said, sponsor. I said, okay, I went and paid $250. $250, that's a lot. I know sponsor work, you know, how did I get people title? The wedding they didn't take place. 3-4 months down the road, another some kind of wedding came. So I said, okay, so what we can do, the one that I paid first, since it was not used for that purpose, I assume it's being kept. So why not you use it for it? Because even if I pay again, I'm not sure whether the wedding going to take place. So the one that was paid for, I assume it was in use because it's meant for wedding. You know, you're supposed to use it. Okay, now you say, I'm paid, then I get my, what are you getting mad for? God with me, colleague. Good to have you here. Thank you so much for sharing your evenings and morning, afternoon, depending on your location. We want to thank you so much. Again, but like I said, we're going to do that. And for those of you, we're going to reach out to you personally when it even requires to do an email, to have a personal conversation, to inbox you, we will do it. Because we want you to see vis-a-vis Colo why it is, and if it makes sense, and if you can give $1 or cent into it. That is very, very much important. So, and we're going to do that. But again, we say thank you so much. It is 10:01 Eastern Standard Time. That's how we're going to bring the curtain down here this evening. Mr. Emmanuel Tia is in the house. Thank you. So yeah, I mean, I pay $250 the wedding take place. Then three one less and one more, you come by say another wedding. So I will just be paying for wedding that we can photo, we can see, we can then we get paying for wedding. No, we can't have that sort of fancy story. Just putting door bucket, just putting things inside. It can't bear no food. We're not going to do that. But on a serious note, if you're here and if you're another patronage that you can give to this network, and this is why we all will try to do this here. Many of you involved in multiple roles, multiple things, a lot of mini businesses, small entrepreneurs, or whatever that you're doing here and back home. You can advertise with us, and let's sell your products. Let's give your products a spotlight. I'm not saying it's not having a spotlight because it's been surviving without us. But we want a way where we will provide services and you in turn, give us. So we just don't want to take, free cash from you. No, let us give you some services. So if you have a product, you have a business, you have whatever here or in Liberia, let us know. If it is in Liberia, we'll send our team here. If it is here, we will figure a way out and we can do it. If you haven't functioned, be it a wedding, graduation, reunion, whatever it is, it's party time. let us know. We have the capacity where we can broadcast simultaneously. It is only the New England Bureau that have the asset based on what we are using. It doesn't matter wherever we state you at. All you do, call us. Let us know. 682-433-8802. Let us know. There's no way we all will figure out something. But we strongly feel we must provide you a service. We must, do something, then you can give us. You can make recommendations. If it's in Philly, if it's in New Jersey, it doesn't matter whatever, what a function would be. We can go there. Lawrence is in the house. Lawrence, man, we get parking before we go. But anyway, number, at least you enter the place before we go into. Man, the mosaic is here. So that's what we're going to be doing in the coming days. It's going to go on for 1 month, 2 months. It doesn't mean you're going to give every day, but hey, if you get a paycheck or every week you want to give, nothing spoiled. But it's to give you a reasonable time, because we understand people have to meet their obligations, bill-wise, families, and different things. So we draw that line of reasoning. So that we're going to do it, because this initiative is going to be in 3 phases, and we're going to put that out when we start that. But this is just a heads up. That's going to start middle of this month, in April, May to the end of May, because the first target, our ultimate goal, we must achieve it. We're going to have the second, and we're going to have the third, which is a short-term and long-term goals. Those things have been set as well. Yeah, you want that voice, nothing wrong. I mean, somebody can start something. We can do that. We can bring that. Okay, Mr. Forbes, good to jump in here, but we are packing up to the goal. Again, I personally will be reaching out to you. For those of you we are friends, we're going to go back, we'll reach out to you, we'll sell the idea, we'll share the information with you. You digest it, you review it, you look at it. If it makes sense, you can give a good way offering for the betterment of this network. And part of it, because network that are unable to sustain itself, this is where the trouble can come from. So we want to do some of us here at the National Public Radio here. Every week there's a fundraiser. Monday, we give out $5, a $10, because it's a public institution. Whether you're government, you're not government, you speak on it. Many of you have NPR in your state. And they do this other event. I saw them, they do these national fundraisers, and they just solicit from people. They don't sanction people's voices. And this is where now the labor, this so-called board chairman, this is where things going to fall apart. So in fact, when we're doing that fundraiser, we're going to do the liberals versus the moderates, or the independent. James Oyu, they are the liberal people. They are from Vermont, from Bernie Sanders era and stuff like that. Let's see who can win it. And that's what we're going to do. But trust me, in the coming days, week, there's going to be a big transformation. Lpr, we've been around here for a while. In fact, one of the first internet station. So if you look at our Facebook page, say quality is better than quantity. So it's not just about the output, the conversations, discussions of substance, and taking our own time to process to get information. That's what matters, because we understand what it means to get information out there. The only competition that we are in is to produce quality. We are not in a competition for popularity. That's not who we are. And we intend not to be that. Because there will come a time to we'll take critical positions. And it must be understood that we have to do what is best for the goods of our country. The old man on the wall say it's time to go. The Liberal is tomorrow is Saturday. As time go by, we're going to have more programs here, because while we're working on everything goes well, we're going to be doing that here. But by God's willing, same time, same station, right here on this network. I'll be here this Sunday with the program, The Examiner, and we're going to face all here. Until then, have a pleasant evening, and thank you for being with us. Let's listen to the Liberal here on some of his confession.
The host country, the United States of America. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Okay, folks, Samson told Labro Pub Radio. I want to thank all of you. The little bro is here to talk Tabata, and the Tabata not any. That what I go for. I sent the link out already. And if people don't come, I give them say 10 minutes out of here. And like I come to come sit down here and wait for you all day. I tell him, Mr. So. This coming, I gave Mr. So at least till September. Reshuffle on LPR. Reshuffle. I got the power. I'm the board chair.
Yeah, that's James and Clarence Davis. That's your patron. That's your friend. He comes on air whether I'm there or not. He intimidates me and he wants to bully me and he thinks he can threaten me. And then he stumble himself. But we'll be here. Watch more of him.
Things are getting out of hand in Liberia. I'm not too sure why, but from everything that we've been reading, it doesn't look good. It seems like people are just taking a matter into their own hands. I'm not too sure. And someone like me, one who supported this government during the
So downhearted, so sort of literally humiliating himself. So that acting like a little baby, he doesn't know what he wants to say because he tries to be politically correct. Holding them accountable in their own words. That's what we do here on LPR. Folks, have a pleasant weekend. Please stay safe. If you're driving this weekend, the life you save could be yours or that of a friend. Until then, this is Alfonso Zienso signing off in tonight's edition, Lpr-Tv Live with the Analysts. Have a pleasant night. Bye-bye.